put them in a container like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Oops. Oh, that had a nice little membrane. Now, what you can do, oh, you see how I make sure you take you take the little shells out. Now, what you can do is you can use a type of strainer. I believe it's called a chinois, and you can take them in, and you can take those little white to make it a nice clear egg. But I'm not going to bother with it. It doesn't bother me, but some people it does. So you can take the little, they call those, okay, I took notes. And I found out it's called, the eggs, it's called, okay, here it is. It's called, the white part is the germinal disc. And the embryos in the calaza? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But anyways, you can remove that by actually just going ahead and using that strainer that I talked about. The chinois. I think it's called the chinois. I'm almost sure. It's been a while, so. Okay. And then you just kind of mix. You beat your eggs, right? And so you want to cream your sugar with your butter. And I purposely use less butter. Now, the recipes that I solicited were recipes, 1 cup of sugar was one, and then 1.5 cup was in the other. And I'm thinking maybe I should put a little bit more butter in there. So, because I only have 1.5 cup butter. So, I'm going to go ahead. If you have a microwave, so I don't have time to room temp this, I think that's going to be nice. And go ahead, I'll show you real quick how to room temp this. Turn this off. Okay. And then you want to take a butter knife. Right. And you kind of cut it up. I hope you can see that. I don't have any space. There. Just cut it up like this. Okay. Cut it up like so. Right. And then, since I don't have time to actually room temp it, because that's the first thing you want to do, is when you're baking, the first thing you want to do is take your butter, your butter out and room temp it. Okay? And then you just take this and you zap it in. I'm going to have to move this. This is my... Okay. And you just want to zap it on your mic for about 10 seconds. Okay? I had some really good instructors, so I'm kind of happy that it's still kind of sticking. And as you bake, continue to bake, it'll come back, and I think I need to do a little bit more baking. So oops, it was a little bit more than 10 seconds. You see what happens? But that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. Okay, make sure all that's in there. And then kind of mix it. Okay. And meanwhile, take your spices. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my spices in my flour. Now, sometimes you put the spices in with your pulp, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to add a teaspoon each. Now, when you're doing these teaspoons, let's see, make sure I have 3 teaspoons each, because I have 4 cups. Actually, Yeah, 4 cups of flour, so I'm going to do 4 teaspoons. So I'm going to change I'm going to say 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to change it. So when you're measuring, this is the baking powder, and when you're measuring, make sure you scrape it off so you can have a level amount. It's really important that you are precise. It's 3. And then that aside. Then you're going to do another 3 teaspoons of baking. That was baking powder, and I like to use the non-aluminum baking powder and aluminum free. And then I'm going to put 3 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay. So, did I put 4 or 3? I don't know. If you can put 1 more, I don't think it'll hurt. I hope not. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and put, I want my salt to dissolve. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the eggs. Okay? It's like you're making scrambled eggs, right? Now I'm going to add that to my mixture. Okay? I'm going to add my zest, peeling of 1 whole orange. And the orange isn't really big. Let me show you. This is how big it is. So it's an orange. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir that. I don't trust that that might blend too well. So I'm going to go ahead and get a fork. The same fork. Rinse it out. Quick. Okay. And that zest. But you know what? I'm not going to use the extract since I used enough zest. I think that's enough citrus in there. But just in case if you don't get a hold of the extract, then you could use the zest, which is just as strong. And I think that's probably a good teaspoon in there, maybe a little bit more. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do the nuts in a minute. Then I'm going to stir to make sure. Okay. Now I'm going to add the pulp. So we got the pulp in there. Here. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to scrape the sides. You know, scrape it. Make sure it's scraped really well. Because you want all that to mix in. And then we get a towel here. And wipe off. Clean as you go. You will make a mess. Maybe. Okay, so I want that pretty much, it's all mixed in now. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my flour. Put it on low. And then add the rest of my flour.